If you can't stand the heat, stay out of the kitchen, goes the old saying. Part of the heat of parenting is tolerating and enduring your child's hatred of your boundaries. You and your child each have a different job here. The kid's job is to test your resolve so she can learn about reality. Your job is to withstand the test, including anger, pouting, tantrums, and maybe much more. Yes, teaching boundaries is difficult, but being aware of 5 obstacles to teaching boundaries may help that challenging course be a little less difficult.
The first obstacle is when the parent depends on the child. There is no greater ingredient of growth for your youngster than love. As your child's major source of love, you provide the closeness and intimacy and nurture that sustain her. Yet this closeness can become confused with the parent's need for the child, and this is called dependency. It's the reverse of what the parenting relationship should be about. If you are afraid that if you say no to your kids, that you will lose the love you need from them, then you have a problem. Consider other places where you can get the love that you need.
Another obstacle is over identifying with the child. Children need their parents to empathize with their pain, their fear, and their loneliness. But some parents confuse their own painful feelings with their child's and project their problems onto the child. What might be discomfort for the toddler is seen as trauma by the mother. What might be anxiety for the teen is experienced as panic by the father. If you find that you can't bear your child's pain, you may be projecting your pain onto him. Consider both what past issues have not fully healed that may be causing you to over-identify with your child and what you will do to resolve these issues.
Third, thinking that love and separateness are enemies is another obstacle. Many parents fear that disagreeing or confronting or simply being different from their children indicates some sort of a break in the connection. But structuring and being separate from your child are not the same as any loss of love. In fact, the reality is that love and separateness go together, and one does not threaten the other. If you feel that when you tell the truth to your child that love is gone, begin working on becoming a truthful, honest person with God and the supportive people in your life.
A fourth obstacle is ignoring and zapping. Ignoring and zapping teaches the child that he can persist in whatever he wants because things are not addressed as they happen. He learns that he can get away with murder 9 times out of 10, and he just needs to learn how to endure the out-of-control parent that 1 time out of 10. When the child is zapped, as the parents get more and more frustrated, then he internalizes an angry, attacking voice instead of reality limits along the way. Angry voices are not useful to the child because they cannot become a helpful part of the child's character. They instead become internal critics, or worse, the child either buckles under with guilt and depression or ignores his parents' voices until he gets a zapping of his own making.
Finally, just being worn down is an obstacle to maintaining and teaching boundaries. You know, kids just work us and work us and work us, and it's scary how they can sense sometimes when we are weak and ready to give in to them. Well, take a moment to consider why your child might be wearing you down. Perhaps you've let your parenting, which is a temporary job, become your identity. If so, you may need to think about who you are apart from being a parent, about what other interests you have, what other activities you could do. Kids with parents who have a life learn both that they aren't the center of the universe and that they can be free to pursue their own dreams.
Remember, when it comes to training your kids in boundaries, you can't teach what you don't have. Don't just say boundaries to your child, be boundaries. If you aren't yet, get to work on yourself. It will pay off both for you and for him.